Good morning, fellow manifestors. Welcome to another Walk and Talk with Joseph Manifesting. Today's video is going to be on removing limited beliefs. This is a controversial subject, as most subjects are, and there are many ways of dealing with this, and I am going to share what I found are best practices. Now, there are different levels of beliefs. There are convictions or root beliefs. There are lightly held beliefs and different varieties of the in-between. You can absolutely just keep being aware of everything that you think and changing to thoughts of the wish fulfilled and staying consistent to that, and everything will change. I have found that if it is a deep conviction belief though, and I do that, my emotional state is unideal while assuming the state of the wish fulfilled or thinking the state of the wish fulfilled. To me, this journey is not only about creating, but it's about enjoying my life. It's about being grateful, feeling whole and complete now. I love feeling love for life. I love feeling gratitude for life. So for me, I want this to be an enjoyable journey and not just about manifesting things. So I found the most helpful ways for me to relieve a belief or release a belief is to do this. So if I have an emotion comes up, which a lot of the time, most of the time is associated with a belief. Let's just say it's fear or it's sadness, panic, etc. The best practice for me is to go, I am the observing presence, the observing consciousness. I have a mind and I have a body. There is an emotion in the body. I allow it to be. I drop the story about it and I observe the emotion. And if it is a light belief or one that doesn't have a very strong emotional charge, I can feel the emotion, and a lot of the time what the release feels like is crying. And I notice that that belief or that thought pattern no longer comes up in my experience. If it is a deep held belief, I have found that it requires a little bit more work. And what I will do is I will have a conversation with myself from a place of love. Because ultimately, here's the thing. At some point in your past, there was some hurt or there was something that was done that you felt was wrong, and it caused a belief to be formed to try to protect yourself. Now, we know from experience that what we fear is what we create. So the understanding of this emotion or this belief is not actually your enemy. In fact, it is helping you. It is coming up to be released. It is coming up to be loved. It is coming up to be accepted. So having a conversation with yourself, questioning it, is not giving it power. When it has power, there is a conviction to it. There is no question. Before, it was just taken as law, and you went on with your day, or you feared it, or whatever it was. Questioning it is actually taking power from it. So you can have an inner conversation with yourself and ask yourself, why is this coming up? And then you may have some feeling or a response, because I'm afraid of this, or because of this, or whatever it is. And if you dig deep, you'll find generally there's some belief system that was formed from childhood that caused pain that then this belief caused circumstances to happen that reinforce this pain, because our beliefs always manifest. So having a conversation, a loving conversation, from the premise of, well, I realize I am the cause and I don't want to live this way anymore, this is no longer true for me, can sometimes release it. If that doesn't work and it keeps popping up, I found this actually from therapy. So let's pretend you're right-handed, and your right hand represents your conscious mind, your adult self, and your left hand represents your subconscious or your child self. Take a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. You are going to take your conscious self or your right hand and write on the left side of the paper. Good morning. With your left hand, you are going to respond on the right side of the paper. So for instance, if I had an emotion come up or some panic, I would go with my right hand, what's going on, buddy? And then I would take my left hand, and you will notice that the response is very childlike. I'm scared, or I'm worried about this, or this is going to happen, or whatever it is. Or I feel like they don't care about me, things like that. And then that will come up, and then I'll go, well, what are you afraid of? That I'll be abandoned, that I'll be hurt, this or that, or whatever it is. Then I will go back over to my right hand, which is again my conscious mind, and I will go, can you release the emotion for me? And then my left hand will usually be like something childlike again. I'll do my best, or I'll try, or something like that. And allow the emotion. Again, remove the story. It's not because of the person. We know that the outside is a shadow. This situation popped up because of some past trauma that is being brought up again to reflect our internal belief. So it is not the person, it is not the situation. This isn't the first time that this emotion or the thought patterns came up. There's probably been many experiences of it if you look back to it. And through feeling the emotion, you get to release it. And what you'll find is, not only do you start building a relationship with yourself, not only do you start loving yourself, you start loving the resistance. You start loving the past. And as you do that, the circumstances stop showing up because your thoughts and your belief systems changed. They've been released. I found for deep convictions, that is the best practice. Either some type of internal self-talk, or if it is a belief that keeps popping up, doing the writing exercise. If it's something small like worrying about this or that, then simply just realize it's a thought. It has no power without your I am identifying with it, and release identification. And for you, this may be the easiest, even for deep convictions, is realizing its past circumstances, being conscious of it, and realizing you no longer desire to experience this, or you no longer desire to identify with this, and then drop identification and go on with your mental diet. Go on with thoughts from the wish fulfilled. Here's ultimately a thing that's so simple but hit me very deeply recently. Neville says you are who it is that you desire to be, and your refusal to believe that is the only reason why you don't see it. So the thought that just kept coming to me recently is, I am already wealthy. I am already happily married. I am already X, Y, and Z. It is quote unquote reason is the reason why I don't see it. Well, this is the same principle of killing the old story in its entirety. Anything that has to do with anything that's undesirable, the past, reason, It must be killed, and the way I kill it is by removing my attention from it and putting my attention on the fact that I am already who it is that I desire to be in its entirety. I hope that helped.